All right, what's up, everybody in the Trade Talk community? If you are new, welcome. This is the official Trade Talk channel where I show you how I analyze price for the most consistent and higher probable entries to help you guys become better traders. Not a whole lot to talk about today, unfortunately, because everything in the whole entire world is trading sideways. In 12 minutes, we do have new home sales coming up. You can see that new home sales on the last few prints have been slightly trending up. Obviously, though, if you go back to July 21, they have been on decline. But for the last couple prints there, you can see that you have been climbing higher. Forecast is for 630K. Last month was 640K. Anything higher than 630K should be bullish for the dollar. What the hell's going on? A higher than expected reading should be taken as positive slash bullish for the USD. But we know that there is the news, and then there's the market's reaction to the news. Sometimes the market doesn't react the way it should. Currently, Bitcoin's trading sideways at daily support, but in a descending wedge type of formation. For the last 5 days here, you can see the point of control on each daily range outside of this day here. Looks like selling pressure as prices traded lower than the point of control. And currently we are trading as an inside day. Yesterday we traded as an outside day. It was an up day, then it was a down day. Yesterday I took 3 profitable trades. Was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was the day before. I took 3 profitable trades on Bitcoin in one day. I went long, then I went short, and ultimately I went short again. So, yeah, it was a fantastic day. This trade I called out in the on the Twitter, which is public, by the way. If you want to follow me, it is free at trade_talk_, all capital letters. That is the right account. I did call this trade out before it happened, which I occasionally will do. Right here it is, before it even happened, so to speak. So, right there you go, CAD Swiss. You can check the prices. Daily Res 067103. CAD Swiss potential short setup. These are the relevant levels to watch. And then here we are now. 067103. So had you got short at the levels I told you to watch, you would still be in this monster one-sided, almost in a single line down trade. I've never seen anything like it. Yesterday we were looking for Aussie dollar shorts. As you can see, this trade is playing out today. Notice how I said yesterday we were looking for Aussie dollar shorts. I got stopped out of that trade. I was a day early. That happens, guys. It happens because you get fake outs. But this is the level I was watching. This is where I wanted to get short from. You can see last night after the close in the Asian session, you had a little bit of screw-aroundery up there, closing 2 hourly candles above daily res and then dropping under it. Right there would have been your signal to get short, right there, because this is the level in question. You've already got your bias. I already had the bias, already explained the bias in the Discord, so everybody knew why I was looking for Aussie dollar shorts. But just in the future, if ever you know I'm watching a specific price, an objective level of price, then you need to watch it too. And if you just get a couple hourlies do something like this, then you want to take that trade, mark your stop above the daily swing high, and you'll end up catching something like that. I do have a bullish bias on Bitcoin currently. I know, right? A bullish bias. I don't know why this thing can't keep up. Oh, I don't guess it needs to actually even be playing, to be honest with you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. But yeah, I have a bullish bias on Bitcoin, but it is, like I said earlier in the stream, it is making this descending wedge formation at daily supports. You got two of them here. Which one to pick, I don't know, because they have both been tested. They are both relevant. Here is lower one than this one. This is just the most near term daily support. So this is the one that I'm mainly focused on. You can see that we have been testing this level for a couple days now and have been unsuccessful in staying under it. So yeah, we could be finding support here. Obviously, the lower daily support there caught Friday and Saturday's swing lows. And then yesterday, Monday, we pushed down, took out both of those swing lows, closed up near the open of the day, thus making a bearish engulfing candle. But still not a beautiful setup or signal. Just what it is. It's an outside day candle. These can imply a reversal. I would have rather seen it been a bullish close than a bearish close. However, with that being said, as long as you're not dropping through these two price points here like a hot knife through warm butter, then this could ultimately be the area where you're looking for buys, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to wait for the breakout to get long. Also, you have daily resistance right up there at 27,808 or around that level. Give you the exact price. 27,821 spot 41. All right, 27,821 spot 41 daily res. So if you did get long here, that would be your target. And you would want to take profits, remove your stop. Now, if you want to take this as a swing trade or a position trade, then naturally you got to get your stop all the way under here. So if you could wait for a test of 27,142, and like I said, if it gets there, make sure you're not closing any major candles below it, like say a 4 hour. Then you could take the long position, throw the stop under this wick right there. That would give you like an almost 4-to-1 risk to reward, aiming at that price. Now I am currently still holding short on the USDT side of the platform and also on the Coin M settled futures. I do not understand how that happened, because I always take positions on the Coin M perpetual futures contract. The settled futures means that it has expiration, but I can't find the expiration date anywhere on this platform. I have looked everywhere, and I cannot find the expiration date. But I'm short, so I don't want to close the position because it's in profit, right? I got short up here. Why? Well, because of that wick there. That's why. And also, there were other technical reasons more so than just that wick. As you can see here, you have 4-hour resistance. So I was kindly looking for it to close back under this. Once I got that signal, I was pretty much figured I would be safe. So I don't expect you to short it down here. Never short into support. That's not a good idea, because if you try to get short here and it doesn't break down below support, then yeah, you're going to get stopped out. And then again, if support holds and you get the bullish bounce, then I'm going to get stopped out and my entry's all the way up here. But in a downtrend, I've told you this multiple times, in downtrends, this is a near-term downtrend. Ultimately, you're bullish on the year. You know what I'm saying? You are in a yearly uptrend. Year to date, you are bullish. This is a bullish chart. There is no argument that can be made that says that this asset is bearish. It cannot be made. Technically, this is a bullish chart. You are up year to date, and you're up big. You're up like damn near 70%. If you go to Jan 1, which is right there on the open, not the low, we want the open. Just go to price, near-term price, 65%. You did make it as high as 79%, if I am not mistaken. 87% to the high. So, yeah, that's bullish. I don't care where you live. I don't care where you're from, where you learned your strategy. That's bullish. All right. Hope everybody here is having a fantastic time. I know it sucks when Bitcoin comes off the highs. This looks like distribution to me because you broke out above a key swing and it was a long consolidation. We consolidated here for weeks and then you got the breakout and it was a nice breakout, but you didn't get that big, strong, like short squeeze style breakout, right? It just kind of petered out and then rolled over. So that looks like distribution to me. If I pull up, well, that's not Glassnode. This is Glassnode here. Excuse me. If I pull up this chart, this is addresses with over 10,000 Bitcoins. You can see that, this rolled over kind of as these addresses like fell off. And we went over in the in the members only live stream on Sunday that basically the only people that have been included in this rally are small addresses, so small wallets. Most of your bigger wallets were not included in this rally other than the 10,000 plus, which those are usually going to be exchanges. So yeah, hopefully we can find demand, because if we don't find real true demand, which means buyers, you are going to see this thing continue to fall off. It is structured as a pullback, looking like it wants to pull back. As long as you're above the 21 on the weekly, I think you are bullish, right? I think you can look for bullish setups. Now, you don't want to try to look for bullish setups when you're clearly falling. But this is Tuesday, and we usually look for the high or the low of the weekly candle to be put in today or tomorrow. So what we are hoping as Bitcoin bulls is that the low of the week is in. That's what we want. We want this to be the low of week. And then obviously intraday, you can see just chopping around here sideways, but it does look like it's trying to break down as you are making higher or lower highs and lower lows, but stalling at support, which is important, right? Until you get the breakdown, until you get that big slice through candle And that close, this is support. So just keep your eyes on it. And I would want to see like a 4-hour closure under this wick to call this level busted. All right. So as long as you don't get that, a 4-hour close under this wick low, I would say that this level's busted. If we do get that, then more than likely I will have caught the weekly high as a short trade. So yeah, I don't know what is in. I don't know if the high's in or if the low's in, but I am positioned for the high. We'll see here if we get a support test and hold, then we'll try to position ourselves for the lows. Fortunately, the rest of the market is bearish. We got that number. Let's go see. Oh, it's way higher. Way higher. So that's going to be a bullish signal for the dollar. And there's your bullish reaction. So yeah, you're back above monthly support. I mean, this thing has been playing with monthly support for a while. Yesterday, it looked like a clear breakdown again, and that we were going to be watching downside continuation. And here you are today, completely taking out the low and then going back up. This is choppy, difficult price action to trade. You're not getting those follow through moves. We did on CAD Swiss. That's been a good follow through move. I would take profits on this CAD Swiss trade if you did take it with us, because as you can see here on the entire chart, you're like close to making fresh all-time lows. This wick here is your all-time low, but that's the lowest low. This was the second lowest low, and we are trading under it. So taking profits anywhere down here would be a good idea. I mean, if you got short at the white line, you've caught most of this month's move, right? Not all of it, but most of it. And that's all we try to do. We just try to catch the bulk of the move. We can't catch the entire move. No strategy will allow you to do that. Although I have on a few occasions caught the entirety of the move, but you know, it is what it is. Good evening, good mornings. How's everybody doing? Yes, great time. Thanks to you. Awesome, James. And then Maurice says, good afternoon. Good afternoon. So the US 100, which follows mostly tech, is breaking down. You would think new home sales would be a good thing for the economy, right? People are buying homes. You would think that would be good news. New home sales measures the annualized number of single-family homes that were sold during the previous month. This report tends to have more impact when it's released ahead of existing home sales because the reports are tightly correlated. And that's all the info it gives us. But much higher than 630. It was 680. $683. Consumer confidence. What is this one? That's red. So higher than expected reading should be taken positive. All right, so 104. So we got mixed signals here. You You got a bullish newsprint for the dollar and then a bearish newsprint for the dollar. They were forecasting 104.0 and actual is 101.3, which is an obvious miss. And this for the last several months has been trending lower. So for whatever reason, the market's taken that as bearish. But if you look at the structure, it is not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. You have not moved. You are trading inside of this bullish weekly candle. Like, that is nothing. Doesn't mean that this is bearish. In fact, it looks more like a bull flag than anything. But I don't trade patterns. The fact that the bears have had 4 weeks to get this thing moving to the downside. If I was a bear, I would be significantly worried about that fact right there alone. This market, according to the Commitment of Traders report, is more bearish than it has ever been. Think about that. S&P 500 futures more bearish. Or let me rephrase that. The last time it was as bearish as it is currently positioned now was right before the 2008 crash. If we can get a bullish push, those bears are going to get stopped out, and that is going to cause one hell of a rally. And I would love to be involved in that. Oil's pulling back. We had a little bit of a something happened with the U.S. oil the other day. It wasn't actually printing anything. So we'll look at oil futures here, which is CL1 exclamation point. It's your light crude oil futures. This is what, basically this follows the spot market. Currently, futures are trading ahead or for more expensive than the spot market price. The spot market is 77.07 and futures are trading at 77.24. So it looks like there's more demand in the futures. So it looks like you're going to see that bullish move on oil pretty soon. My guess is you're going to get a bounce off of 2022's yearly opening range, which would also close that gap. And then, boom, find support and start trading higher. At the very least, take out last week's low. And then maybe then the market will decide that gap is closed and will move ahead. So that's why you're seeing Canadian dollar weakness. If we go to currency futures in itself, you'll see that the Canadian dollar isn't quite as bearish as the British pound, but it is bearish. Has been bearish for the last several days. We've had our eyes on that, but we were mainly bearish CAD Swiss, mostly based on Swiss franc, because the Swiss franc was at support. Here's that support right here. This is when we were looking to get short Canadian dollar Swissy. Boom, up. And that move lower and oil helped us with Canadian dollar weakness. So when you have Canadian dollar weakness and Swiss franc strength, boom, shakalaka, you get a nice fat short on CAD Swiss. And it worked out beautifully. So we're doing great this week. We're doing great. Bitcoin is still just trading at support. But we've lost Aussie dollar. It has completely traded off the monitor. That was one I missed. Like I said, I was a day early on that. 1 day early. The second one that I wanted to catch today was New Zealand dollar Japanese yen, but we're not getting a correction. I was looking for a pullback in the daily resistance here to get short. Right there. Go back to the hourly, and that would have also been at a 1 hour supply zone, or also known as a Heath level, right? In this area. That's when we were trading during this hour here. I wanted to see this wick get up into here, so I could have taken a short position. It didn't. It stayed closing at, or it just basically tagged your intraday or hourly resistance. So you can see that here. You can see how that wick just traded up right to your hourly resistance. Here's for you 5-minute folks. Boom or boom. Either one of those two areas would have been your short entry. And obviously, I was right on direction. We just didn't get a higher push. Because the main reason why I didn't take that short there was because the risk to reward would have been better if it would have continued to push up. I don't think from that area to intraday support was a 2-to-1 risk to reward, is the reason why I didn't take it today. But it's maybe tomorrow we'll get a chance at it. But there'll be other opportunities here in a day or so. This choppy sideways isn't going to last forever, I promise you. The longer it does last, when you do ultimately break down or break out, you're going to get a continuation move. So we definitely want to be positioned either short for the breakdown or long for the breakout. On whatever your favorite asset is. Let's go look at Tesla because they had bad news the other day. Let's see if they've recovered at all. So you did get that bounce initially off of the area I told you to wait for a trade, a bounce trade. That would have been here on this day. Had you taken that entry, like I said back when Tesla was trading up here, I said wait for the pullback. That exact price, 166.50. I don't remember which live stream it was, but I called that price out when Tesla was trading up here. You can see how it bounced right into there. Gave you a nice bounce all the way up to 206. And then you have since faded. There's a gap right there. So what I would do now is I would wait for at least gap fill. Since you are trading under support, I would wait for gap fill. Gap fill would be 146.50. And then see if a support is formed. If a support is formed at the gap fill, 146.50, then you can start looking for longs or calls, however you want to play it. If you are buying calls, please do not buy way out of the money calls, because that isn't a strategy that I suggest you use. I would buy at the money or just one strike out of the money. Let's get Bitcoin back up there. Look at it on the old red and green chart. The red and green chart. Which charting formation are we on? All right, so I mean, we pulled back after being overbought on the RSI, which is also what I told people last week, right? We bought it here. You sell it there. That's how you trade. You buy low, sell high. Although I haven't sold any of my Bitcoin, I haven't taken profits on it as far as USD is concerned. I just trade on the inverse swap contract. So I move my Bitcoin from exchange to the cold storage wallet, which you can also find on my Twitter page, my actual Nano Live account equity curve, if you want to see if I'm profitable or not. Or I can show you for any new people that are here real quick. I don't think it's far away. I guess it is kind of far away. And it goes back to November, so it goes back to the bear market as well. So there you go. There's a picture of my equity curve starting in the bear market, before the bear market. That's when I bought this Nano Ledger. And the first initial push up was me adding funds from exchange, obviously, because that's what I've been doing, right? I just continually trade the markets. And then when my account gets substantially in size, I move it over to cold storage, the Bitcoins. So since the bear market, all the way until April 15th, you can see that the equity curve is a nice flowing, moving up and to the right, which is what you want. If you want to go back to November, here is November. So that equity curve from November all the way to January should look like most people's equity curve. Down, right? Mine doesn't. It goes up. And the transition from bearish to bullish still going up, because traders make money no matter which way the market is going. We can buy or sell. That's what makes futures such a great thing. As we cautiously wait for Bitcoin to break out of this range, I think you have pulled back far enough on the daily time frame, to be honest with you, for a bounce, but we shall see if we get the bounce or the breakdown. Like I said, I do currently have a short position at this wick based off of that 4-hour res, daily res. So we shall see if this thing breaks down or not. Daily close under this wick, your next area of support is going to be here at $26,980.35. If you lose that, ladies and gentlemen, you could see as low as $26,110 and then ultimately $24,379. So these are, I don't want to see this level get broken right here. Because just as fast as you made this big bullish expansion, you could also make a bearish expansion right through that. And on the daily time frame, you have lost your 21 exponential moving average. So on the near term, as a day trader, now we usually look for short signals. We usually will start shorting pops until we get back above the 21, which would indicate that the bulls are still in control. But if you look at the weekly time frame, you can clearly see that the bulls are still very much in control of this market, right? As your 21 is all the way down here. So a pullback to 25,000 would be good and still could be looked at as bullish. If you get under this, then I would expect a much deeper correction, unfortunately. So I don't know if you're an uber bull or bullish only. If you are, you know, you might want to go into cold storage and wait before you buy again. But obviously, where you buy, when you buy, that's all going to be up to you, as I don't tell you when to buy or where to buy. I tell you what prices I'm watching and where I'm looking to position myself. If you take the trade, then make sure you're not risking more than a couple percent of your equity. And that would be overall equity on exchange. And do not hold all of your Bitcoins on exchange. If you are out there and you hold quite a significant amount of Bitcoin or any crypto at all, please do not hold it all on exchange. Go buy a cold storage unit. There are hundreds of them. Buy one and get your money on cold storage, not on exchange. I only leave trading funds on exchange. Trading capital only is on exchange. Once I make the trading capital bigger, then I move the funds to cold storage. Yes, great time. Thanks to you. Afternoon and good evening. Good evening. BBBY 150 plus shorts. That's yeah, GME went crazy. Yep. BBBY. Bed Bath and Beyond. Everybody knows that this thing they are going to file bankruptcy. So of course you're gonna get very big moves like this, but you do not have a short squeeze like you did on GME. 135%. If this was a short squeeze like back when GameStop happened, you would have gotten multiple days, right? That was a multiple day squeeze. And to be honest with you, I mean, GameStop still hasn't went back to original price levels. So this is actually when the short squeeze commenced on GME, August 2020. This was the first pop in a long time. But once that started here, it was all over but the crying. And like you can see, I mean, it's still been just trading on highs. Now, you're not trading at $119, but $19 is a far cry away from, they did a split also. So, if I am mistaken, this traded much higher than $119. 4-1. What is this? Oh, news. They have earnings coming up. We got a lot of earnings coming up this week also. That's going to affect the market. Big earnings week. Bitcoin is currently testing daily support right now. So, breaking down. This is going to be your low of day here, because this is your daily opening candle for the daily range, today's range. You can see basically it's just been making lower highs and lower lows all day. Let's see what happens when we take out today's low. S&P 500 dropping hard here. This is last week's low. You got a daily demand level right there as well. So you don't want to see a close under that today. You would want to see this thing bounce, but unfortunately, it's trading well under the low of day and well under last week's low. Bitcoin still not able to break below daily support. That's daily support there. So, I mean, if you wanted to take a risk that you were going to see this thing break out to the bullish side here, then you could use this wick low as your stop loss, but that's the day's low. So if this continues, if this is the target, then you're going to end up ultimately taking that out before the day is out, right? But it doesn't mean it will. Price doesn't have to go down there and take out the low of day. Does not have to go take out the low of day. So let's see how it reacts here. I think we should probably watch the NASDAQ as well, because the NASDAQ has got the tech in it, right? And tech has led the rally, which we can go see here. We can put tech up if we want. Let's put tech up here and we'll just watch Bitcoin there. Yeah, you can see. I mean, this is just choppy garbage. Look how choppy that is. I know people are blaming this on zero to expiration option trading, but even if it is, I mean, it's still tradable. I mean, it's still tradable. But ultimately, I mean, it's been trading sideways for so long. Been trading sideways for so long. Oh, God. It's been a long time. There's your operating range. Didn't quite get a daily support on the NASDAQ. After a 0.4% weekly loss. That's not big. NASDAQ futures flat after a modest 0.3% gain. NASDAQ tumbles on mild recession fears. No, that is not what's going on. Oh, I did see a tweet that is relevant. Diesel fuel. God, a lot of people have tweeted since I started this live stream, huh? Y'all tweet too damn much. Y'all need to get off Twitter. Get on YouTube. Watch my videos. Come on. Where is that tweet about diesel fuel? Blah, blah, blah. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I don't watch Pomp nor care what he has to say. Lot of breaking news. Wasn't a lot, but anyways, the price of diesel has dropped. We're getting close because I seen my tweet. I thought we were. This guy, I follow a lot of non-Bitcoiners because I love to see them when they're wrong. Bitcoin has fallen over the past week to the dismay of hodler bros everywhere. It's falling as market pricing for the Fed is becoming more hawkish again. Bitcoin falls when market's price is more hawkish Fed and vice versa. Bitcoin is just another bubble asset. Yeah, whatever, dude. You don't have to trade it. I will make all that money. Right here, falling diesel prices are indicative of slowing economy that might stand to benefit um from the stimulative effects of falling diesel prices. And that tweet ultimately came from Carl. I can't pronounce his last name. Wholesale diesel recently fell to $2.65 a gallon in New York Harbor, down from $5.34 per gallon last May, raising concerns that parts of the world's largest economy have began to slow, which, we already knew that. SPX breaking down, tech falling. I told you guys a long time ago that if the market was going to roll over, that tech was where you wanted to look for that to happen, because tech led the rally. So it had the most gains on the year than any other sector. So naturally, if people were going to rotate funds from tech to consumer staples and whatnot, then tech was going to take a severe hit. It just hasn't yet. It's been trading absolutely sideways. That's many days in a row. Like, each one of these little lines is a day. So for weeks, been trading sideways. What's the level I have marked up there? But still, all in all, even though it's just Tuesday, you're still bullish. You're still structured bullish. Anything above 140.54 would be a buying opportunity once support is found. If support is found. Support could be found around there, 140.90, if it continues to go lower. But it appears to be not a level. I think you would probably come there. 143.25 would be the next area where I would look for support. That is if you don't get the gap filled. This is a gap here. So if you fill that gap, find support. You could get another rally. And today's initial move looks to be lower. But Bitcoin still at daily support. Still unable to break down after 20 minutes. Multiple tests today. Nothing really happened during the London session. Your point of control for today is up here on Bitcoin. So, sellers. If we can get above that, we could see a nice spike to the upside. I think you would see a short squeeze. Yeah, got some nice long liquidations here. It's about the same. We got about 36 million in long liquidations, 36 mil in short liquidations, but we got a spike 2 times. We got 29 mil there, 36 mil there, 37 mil there. So a lot more long liquidations than we did short liquidations. Put to call ratio still just trending sideways. At the money, implied volatility should be spreading out, and it is a little bit, not much. Volatility should go down the further out you go. It should not go up. But see, the pink line is 1 week out for expiration. The orange line is 1 month. The brown line is 3 months, and the green line is 6 months. And you can see they each go up. 1 week 48%, 1 month 52%, 3 months 54%, and then 6 months 55%. Your implied volatility should not go up the further out you go in time. It should go down. The fact that it is going up means that more people are speculating on those longer dated options. Not a lot of volume, man. That was massive, massive liquidations. People just got out of the market. They were done. I'd like to see this start to move up instead of trending lower. Yeah, still going lower. Futures estimated leverage ratio. I wish I could see more of this. I wish I could see at least year to date. So whenever your leveraged ratio goes up, it's usually a good time to look for a turn in the market. And you can see here, I would be willing to bet that this is probably close to all-time highs too, leverage ratios. Because if I'm not mistaken, the last long-term leverage ratio chart I saw was pretty much a straight move to the upside. But you can see how much leverage was in the market at the top. This white line is Bitcoin's price, near term. This is 1 month out. So it only gives me 1 month of data. But that's the turn in price. And leverage ratio had a massive spike up. That's why the market turned around. I wish I would have looked at this while we were trading up here, because I would have told everybody to look for that short entry. And Soper's back to that one area. We'd like to see Soper start to trend away from one. You have to put an SMA on this to smooth it out a little bit. Still very jagged, but it does come back to one in pullback scenarios. So maybe it's just a pullback scenario. We'll see. We'll see. We know, you guys know which levels. These are the two levels that we're currently watching for longs, right? If you want to look for longs on Bitcoin, these two prices need to hold. If you lose these two prices, then unfortunately your longs are not going to work out. Consumer confidence is low, but more people than expected are buying houses, right? Doesn't make much sense. And that's the reason why we've seen a lot of sideways data or a lot of sideways prices, because we've been getting conflicting data. Listen to Bloomberg or CNBC or Fox Business. Fox Business is more about bashing Biden than it is about actually talking about stock markets. Obviously, CNBC is more left leaning in their news bias, but if you just CNBC talks more about the actual marketplace and what's going on all day in the markets more than Fox, or Bloomberg, and just listen to all those macro guys, how split they all are. Like, every other guest speaker they have is bullish or bearish, and they both have data to back up why. Like, this guy's got data to back up why he's long. This chick's got data to back up why she's short. All right. We know that the COT data says that more people are positioned short right now than long. So I would expect price will ultimately go higher if we can get some more buyers to step up to the plate. just knowing that COT data, if I was a hedge fund investor, I would be looking to position myself long at support. So that could be what's happening right now. It's just looking for support. But if we lose this area, then we're going to lose the 4,000. Then 4,000 will be coming right back into play. But ultimately, since the years began, this is your yearly open. You've had a sideways market, right? You haven't made a fresh yearly high yet. So, yeah, a little bit sideways. But you can watch these two prices on Bitcoin. These are the two prices that I am currently watching to see if support holds. I would like to see the tech market, NASDAQ, and the S&P 500. I like to see all of them find support, as that could ultimately help Bitcoin. As that Bitcoin hater on Twitter said, Bitcoin does usually follow the tech rallies. So we shall see how that plays out. Other than that, that's about all I got to say to you guys today. Not a lot to talk about. Do you think Bitcoin follows S&P 500 more or NASDAQ? I would just say NASDAQ. We can compare it, but I would say more along the lines of the NASDAQ. Probably looks more like the S&P 500 ultimately. But we can definitely compare. So there's the S&P. This is your March 2020 pandemic. And then the market was propped up. Not only did S&P 500 get nice gains from that, so did Bitcoin. And then we had that drop off because China banned mining in Bitcoin. Boom, that caused that drop off. But ultimately, the market wasn't done until we got that announcement that the Fed was going to start hiking interest rates. So Bitcoin took the plunge first. S&P 500 had two more stop runs and then took the plunge. But ultimately, the plunges looked very similar. And then you can see here, it looks like the S&P 500 found its lows before FTX collapse. Nobody could have predicted the FTX collapse. That's a black swan event for Bitcoin. Otherwise, Bitcoin would look more like that probably. But now that we've seen that comparison, let's do the NASDAQ. Well, I'll just do it this way. Well, I did it wrong. I don't want Bitstamp, I want Coinbase. Thank you. So we'll go back to the same thing. There's your 2020 pandemic boost in the marketplace. NASDAQ rolled over more closer. No, it had a spike up too, just like S&P 500 did. That was to stop out any early shorts. Then it rolled over. Same with Bitcoin. And ultimately, the NASDAQ found a low, got a big bounce up during the FTX sell-off. then fell again, making a lower low, but ultimately right there is when it made its run. So I would say it's more correlated to the NASDAQ than the S&P 500. But I mean, that's just by looking at it. You could actually get deep and dirty into it and do some actual math and find out which one it is actually most correlated to. If you really, really, really wanted to. But yeah, it looks to me like it's going to break down. It just does. But like I said, the Bears have had plenty of opportunities to push it lower. So what are they waiting on, right? What are they waiting on? But the same could be said for the Bulls. The Bulls have had plenty of opportunities to push higher. What are they waiting on? So right now, the market is just driven by the news. You're getting moves higher based on what the news is doing. And then finally, Sox thoughts on long at 404.90. You definitely could watch that price. It is daily support until you close a daily under it. Next daily support would be there. 452. Semiconductor ETF. I don't have this one. I have the spiders. But I do have semiconductors, I thought. And that's materials, consumer staples, healthcare, real estate, utilities. I guess I don't. So let's add that to the list. But yeah, you don't want to just randomly buy the first when like if price gets to 404.90 today, you don't want to just instantly hit buy. Okay, that's not how this works. Yes, it is an area that was support before, and we have seen price hold at support, but you could get something like this. You could get a big long wick through it and then ultimately get back above it. So you want to see if it actually holds as support before you buy it. And then once you have that confirmation that it is holding as support, then you can look to be a buyer and throw your stop under wherever the low ends up being, right? But we'll look at it again on Thursday if I can remember. Andrew, if you're, I don't know if you're new or not. You're red. Your name is red. I don't know what that means. I haven't been up on the YouTube rules, but if you're, we do this every Tuesday and Thursday, so we'll be live again on Thursday. Just check back with me on Thursday morning and remind me to look at stocks again, and we'll see where we're at then. You can't buy it now, and you don't want to buy it on the first test. So we'll check out where it is Thursday, and we'll go from there. Just give me 1 second. Let me get my usual top-down analysis here. I do like it higher, mainly because you broke out above and closed above monthly resistance. I don't like the fact that you are completely retesting last month's range. All right. So we definitely want to see this thing start to find support at one of those daily support areas. Definitely. And there's 3 days left on the close, so that'll be Friday. I would love to see it close Friday above 411.34. If Friday this thing closes above 411.34, I would wait for next month to put in a low print and then get back above 411.34. That's when I would be the buyer. And I would have a target of 445.38 and just trade this monthly range. But in order for this monthly range to be traded, this needs to close above last month's open. All right? You got 3 days for that. So if you close under last month's open, it's no deal. Because that means you're likely going to see lower prices. So any pop would be looked at as a fadeable event, a sellable event. So what I'm saying is, could this be a monthly bull trap? It absolutely could be, but we don't want to see, it's too early to say that now. But in 3 days' time, we'll know. And if we close above 411.34, it's going to be a fantastic buying opportunity in the days to come. All right? All right, perfect. Yeah. I like to get a longer term look on where we are. I want to see if we're trending on the monthly and on the weekly. Are we trading sideways? Because if we're range bound, then we look to trade the range. Currently, we are range bound on the month. This is your monthly expansion here. That bullish monthly candle, that's here, right? Right there. That's that bullish monthly candle. This is your bearish monthly candle retracement right here. So we are trading inside the monthly range, but on a week-to-week basis, we're making lower closes. Except this week. Last week, lower close. This week, you're getting downside continuation. So on a weekly basis, you are trending lower. So the bears are in control of the market on a weekly basis. So any daily pops in price are being sold. Do you see what I'm saying? Right now, the bears are in control of the asset. So we got to see how it closes. Yeah, we got to see how it closes. And let me close off the live stream with this. Bitcoin is holding monthly support. I mean, daily support. So now what you would look to do, if this is going to be a buy, if you're going to see an uptrend on the rest of the day, you will be looking for 27,288 to be the wick low. That's if you get above this high. If we could get a nice hourly close above this swing high here, like anywhere in here, make this a trap, then any pullback in the next hour to this price, I would probably look to be a buyer of that. But if this just fades back into nothing because it just literally started, then leave it alone. But it looks good. Looks good so far. All right, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you guys trade safe. Make sure you guys trade smart. And as always, happy trading, everybody.